The moment she said, "You're not ready yet," I felt the floor tilt beneath me. The hum of the office faded, the clatter of keyboards muffled. It wasn't just disappointment, it was betrayal disguised as professionalism. I had spent 6 years in that glass cage of ambition. 6 years of staying late, cleaning up others' messes, swallowing credit that evaporated before it reached my name. I'd done everything right. And my boss Clara knew it. She'd been my mentor, my advocate. Or so I thought. Now, sitting across from her sleek mahogany desk, I watched her carefully fold her hands. Her voice, smooth as silk, carried a practiced empathy. "You've made great progress, Emma. Truly. But leadership, it takes something more. Something I'm not sure you've developed yet." My throat burned. Something like what? Her eyes didn't flinch. Composure. Resilience. The ability to separate emotion from execution. I almost laughed. Emotion from execution. That was rich, coming from the woman who once cried in my arms about her divorce while I finished her quarterly report. I forced a smile. Got it. I'll work on that. When I stepped out of her office, the air tasted metallic. My resignation letter, folded neatly in my purse, suddenly felt like a live wire. I had planned to hand it in that morning before the meeting. My new company had offered better pay, flexible hours, and a team that actually valued me. But as I stood in the corridor watching Clara through the glass wall, something in me twisted. She was on her phone now, smiling. The same warm, conspiratorial smile she used when we gossip over coffee. Except this time it wasn't for me. That night, I opened my laptop to draft a farewell email. But instead, I clicked open my resignation letter and hit delete. If Clara thought I wasn't ready, I'd prove her wrong. I'd stay. I'd fight. Except staying turned into watching. First, it was little things. Clara stopped including me in leadership meetings, even though I'd been the one preparing all the data she presented. My ideas began appearing in team memos, just not under my name. And then there was Ryan. He was new, confident, charming in a way that made people listen. Clara introduced him to the team with the kind of enthusiasm she usually reserved for investors. "Ryan's here to shadow us, learn the ropes," she'd said, smiling in my direction. "Emma, you'll help him get up to speed." I should have noticed then, the way her eyes lingered on him a little too long, the way he mirrored her tone in meetings. But I was too focused on proving myself, desperate to earn back what she'd taken. Weeks passed. Ryan flourished. And I disappeared. Until one night around 10 p.m., I returned to the office to grab a flash drive I'd left behind. The floor was dark, silent except for the faint hum of the air conditioning. As I walked past Clara's office, I froze. Her door was slightly ajar. Inside, her laugh, soft, husky, mingled with Ryan's low voice. Papers rustled. A whispered "close the blinds" followed by the click of the chain. My heart stuttered. I told myself it wasn't what it sounded like. Maybe they were just discussing strategy. Maybe. Then came the sound. A muffled moan. I pressed my hand against the cool glass wall, the city lights glinting behind their silhouettes. The outline of his hands on her waist, her head tilted back. It wasn't strategy. It was betrayal. Not just of her marriage or her position, but of every woman she'd promised to mentor. Of every time she told me we had to work twice as hard to be taken seriously. I turned and walked out before my knees gave way. The next morning I came in early. I smiled when Clara walked past, radiant and sharp in her navy suit. Ryan followed, a hint of satisfaction in his grin. By noon I had a plan. Over the next few weeks I gathered everything. Meeting notes, chat logs, versions of presentations that showed my original work before Ryan's revisions. I even recorded snippets of their late-night meetings. Voices slurred with wine, laughter too intimate for colleagues. I wasn't sure what I'd do with it yet. I just knew I needed proof. One afternoon Clara called me in again. Her tone was syrupy, her smile rehearsed. "Emma," she began, "I wanted to talk about your future here." I raised an eyebrow. "My future?" She nodded, gesturing for Ryan to step in. "We've decided to promote Ryan to project lead. But we'd love for you to support him in the transition. You'll be his right hand." For a second the room blurred. The audacity of it, of her, made something snap in me. "Congratulations," I said, voice calm. "You're right. I'm not ready for leadership." Clara's face softened, relieved. I'm glad you understand. I smiled. That's why I canceled my resignation. I wanted to stay and learn. Her eyes flickered, confusion. From the best, I added. After all, it's not every day you get to work under someone who teaches by example. Ryan shifted uncomfortably. Clara's smile faltered. 2 weeks later, an anonymous email landed in HR's inbox. It contained recordings, chat logs, and timeline evidence linking Clara's performance reviews, Ryan's promotion, and their after-hours encounters. By the end of the month, she was gone. Ryan too. And when HR called me into the conference room to offer me the interim project lead position, I accepted, with steady hands and an even steadier smile. That night, as I packed Clara's old office, I found her mug still sitting on the shelf. Boss Lady, it read in gold cursive. I ran my thumb over the letters, feeling the faint indentation where the paint had chipped. For a moment, guilt flickered. But it wasn't guilt for what I'd done. It was for what I'd believed. That loyalty meant safety. That mentorship meant honesty. That women like Clara opened doors instead of closing them behind them. I placed the mug in the trash, sat in her old chair, and whispered, I'm ready now.